In this video, I'm going to be talking about whether or how to determine if a relation is a function. And the question we have to ask in order to determine this is, does each x value have one specific output or y value? If it has one specific output, it is a function. If there's more than one possible output, then no, it's not a function. It's just a relation. The easiest way to really learn this is just to look at some examples. So that's what we're going to do here. First of all, let's look at this table on the top left, okay? So ignore the other problems. Instant rice cooking times. Now we have the number of servings that you want to cook and how long you have to cook it. What we're saying is this. If I look here, the input value would be the number of servings you want to create, and the output value would be how long you cook based on how many servings you want to create. And so what I do is this. I look through for each x value, for 2, is there a specific time that's associated with wanting to cook 2 servings? And it looks like there is. If I want to cook 2 servings, I know I need to cook it for 5 minutes. It doesn't say 5 minutes or cook it for 10. It says 2 servings, 5 minutes. If I look at 4, is there one output associated with 4? And I know for sure, 100% sure, that according to this box, if I want to make 4 servings, I need to have 8 minutes of cooking time. For 6, it's 10, and for 8, it's 11. So I can say here, yes, this is a function. If I know how many servings I want to make, I know for sure what that cooking time should be. So it is a function. Now, let's go over here. From last name to social security number. If this is our input, if the last name is the input, and social security number is the output, is that a function? Now here's what I know. My last name is Kisker. I have a social security number that is unique to me. I have my sister, multiple sisters, multiple family members, and their last name is Kisker as well. And so the question is this, or you can go to a more common one, right? Something like Smith, or Jones, or Johnson, right? If you have the last name Smith, do you know if I said, listen, I've got a person here and their last name is Smith, could you tell me exactly what their social security number was if you had a list? And the answer to that one is no, for obvious reasons. We might have one 9-digit number up here, and we might have another one down here, and we might have another one down here, and we're going to have 100,000 Smiths in the United States, and they're all going to have their unique social security numbers. So we have multiple outputs for that last name, multiple social security numbers associated with the last name Smith. So we know that this is not a function, because we can go from one input. If I told you Smith, you could say, well, that only limits it down to like 100,000 social security numbers, Mr. Kisker. So not a function. Let's look at shoe prices here. Okay? Do I know, now look at this. This is the trick on this one. They're all $35, right? But do I know, I don't need to look, it's okay if these repeat. Do I know if I'm buying a size 7 shoe, do I know exactly what that's going to cost? Or does it give me multiple prices? According to this table, if I know that I'm buying a size 7 shoe, I know I'm going to pay $35. I know if I'm buying a size 8 shoe, there's one price associated with size 8 shoes, and that's $35. I know if I'm buying a size 9 shoe, there is one price associated with that, and it's $35. Even though they're all $35, this is still a function because I know exactly what I'm going to pay based on my input of shoe size. There's no ambiguity. There's no guesswork going on. So it is a function, even though it's repeated. That's a tough one. That's a tough one to understand. The last example we're going to look at in this video, the total number of items in a grocery cart compared to the total cost of the items in the grocery cart. We've got to think about this. Items don't all cost the same thing, unless you're at like the dollar store and everything is $1. So I guess maybe that's a weird case. But let's talk about like maybe if you're at Price Chopper or Hy-Vee or something. The number of items in the grocery cart. If you have exactly 10 items, do you know exactly what you're going to pay every single time? And the obvious answer to this is no, because it depends entirely on what those 10 items are. If you're getting 10 bags of, I don't know, dog food, that's going to cost a different amount than if you had 10, I don't know, pieces of broccoli in your cart. And so what it means is that if I just told you the number of items, you couldn't narrow down the total cost of items, the total cost of those items to one specific number. Therefore, this is not a function. If that makes sense, then you should be ready for the homework.